Hello, hello, my little SSSDLers. We are back here with the week 2 recap. We got only 5 games this week, unfortunately. We had a postponement and an extension, as well as a forfeit. So, not the most efficient week, but let's just hope week 3 is better. But we still got 5 games. We're still going to go over them, even if we're a little late. I was originally going to wait for Ryan and James's game because it was supposed to be tonight, but it got delayed even more, so we're still waiting on that one, and I just want to get the weekly recap out because I think I've got stuff to go on for the next couple days. Anyways, our first game here is against Power Fable and John. And this game was played like immediately, like minutes after I posted the schedule and like before I even posted pick'ems. No, I think I posted pick'ems first, but it was close, so. No one really got to get their pick'ems in for this one, but it ended up not mattering very much. But we'll get that. John brings Ape, Scuda, Terragastro, Arcanine, Muck, and Cincino. Power Fable brings Gliscor, Torkoal, Chiyu, Terra Fez, Walking Wake, and Logan Hisui. John leads his Sync versus Gliscor. Not amazing. I think it's a little crazy to protect turn 1. I understand you want to get your Toxic Orb off, but I wouldn't hate a tidy up here. Like, I don't think that's an awful play. I think it's a little risky when you know there's a Torkoal on the other team, because I don't... But I guess, I don't know, if you just get +1, you do some real damage to this team. Gliscor's not taken, especially, but I understand scouting for the Axel at the same time, but... I don't know, a little risky in my book. He's going to get his Toxic off. He's just going to click it again. I lied. He clicked Rock Blast. Nice little play, nice little play. And that does solid damage. Like, if he had tidied up turn 1, he's 2-hit KOing this, but now he's got to switch out into Arcanine. He's going to catch him on the body press, and... Yeah, I think that's kind of to be expected, so I don't know if this would have been my switch-in or maybe Gastrodon, but maybe he had planned for Gastrodon to be a bigger switch-in to something later. Fable's going to go out into Walking Wake, and a little head smash here from Arcanine does a lot. I actually thought that might kill when I was watching this one live, but it didn't. Walking Wake probably can afford a little bit of bulk. It is Proto Special Attack, which I think is interesting, and makes it quite threatening. I don't know if that's what I would hard switch in here if I'm Fable, especially knowing this thing gets E-Speed. Like, I would be expecting E-Speed here, and I'd be like, shit, I just sacked my Wake. But that doesn't happen, and all of a sudden, he's got to take 50%. Okay, we got to pause on this one. But he's going to take 50% on the Gastro, and looks like he doesn't have, well, yeah. But Flame Orb Gastro is pretty wild. I guess he was worried about Toxic being the best way to kill his Gastro again after that's how I beat him in week 1. But Flame Orb is some insane tech. I love it. I truly do. I don't know if it's good, but I sure do love it. I mean, Fez and Gliscor are things that do run Toxic, so, well, not Fez, but Fez does Toxic things. So, I mean, it's somewhat understandable, but damn. So, you got trauma seriously running. Now he has to switch back into Muck. I don't know why Muck didn't come in first. This game so far is going pretty heavily in Fable's direction. Like, he's got the lead right now, but as soon as this Muck comes in, everything kind of changes. Obviously it eats because Muck just eats like everything. He goes into Gliscor. Knock doesn't really matter. But Poison Heal, he's going to get his HP back, and I'm assuming he protects this turn. Nope, he's going to Earthquake. And he's going to do a lot of damage there. He's going to now protect to get to full on the Axel. I think at this point you've got to predict. Like, I think protect or he's going hard into Torkoal. Like, there's no world where he's taking an Axel on Gliscor. So I think a tidy up here, I mean, would have been really good. But I guess I was wrong. Okay, I don't know what I'm saying, but he's going to take the Axel here. He's going to sack Gliscor because this is going to kill. Yeah, this kills. I don't know. When you've got a Torkoal, even on 56%, I don't know. He's going to body press. Good play by John. Get in on the Ape. Now he's going to go into Fez with Balloon, and he's going to catch him on the Earthquake. So another nice play by Fable. But he's going to go back into Muck, which, you know, missing the play rough. I don't think it matters a ton because I don't think it does a ton of damage, but regardless. And then this is a pretty rough play. Muck like always runs 4 moves. I don't even know a single good status move Muck gets. It has like 15 move slot syndrome because it wants to be running these elemental coverage punches. It wants to run knock. It wants to run jab. Sometimes it needs gunk shot for damage. It wants to run shadow sneak. It's got a lot of moves it wants to run, and none of them are really status moves. So I don't. It's like I only know this thing to run like band or more commonly AV, but I've run band before, I remember. So I think taunting it is a really whack play, especially when now, I mean, Drain Punch is just to get rid of the balloon, maybe catch him on a switch into Chi Yu or something. But now he's going to go into Lilligant on a Fire Punch and take 91% and get the Poison Touch, which is going to take it out, which is pretty rough. I mean, you know based off these moves that Pheasantipede takes it kind of well, but I guess it doesn't look like he has a move either, so it's kind of a little bit of a stalemate that he probably loses. He's going to go into this, which isn't going to kill. Yeah, I didn't think there's any world where it does, and Muck's going to pick up another kill, and now you're in a dicey situation. You still got your Chi Yu, which still does a good amount of work. It's going to put down the Muck, which has been such a threat, but this is fast. Oh, Chi Yu is Scarf. Chi Yu's Scarf, and that's going to knock that out. Scuda can Aqua Jet and stuff, so you do have to switch out there. He's going to just sack his Fez, which I think is fine at this point. Your win condition is your Scarf Chi Yu. But I think with the Gastro still water type, you probably, and with this, you have to lock into Dark move for sure. But yeah, basically Torkoal, I think, goes down here. He's hoping for a burn. Isn't going to get it. I don't think that would have changed the result too much. Chiyu's going to come in here, and I would assume you lock into Dark Pulse. Yep. Doesn't do enough, and okay, he's gonna pick up one more kill here. It's been a while since I watched this game, my fault. I thought Chiyu was gonna die in real time too. And then Jet's gonna come take it out. And a good win for John. He picks up his first draft league win, I think, ever, right? I'm glad he bounced back after a rough week 1. Sorry about that. And we'll see what Fable has in store next week. Our second game, nice to see Waka in the second game after he was the very last game last week. I'm playing, but this was our primetime game. This was what I thought would be the most fun matchup. Kind of bet on McGriddleso here because I don't know a ton about him, but he gives me extremely good vibes, and I think he's a good player, and he proved it in this game to me. So we'll start it off. He's got Chien Pao, Scizor, Delphox, Terra Delphox, Mega Venu, Swampert, and Dio Speed. Waka's got Zapdos, Pelly, Iron Crown, Ninetales A, Overquill, and Terrakabu. I think McGriddle has one of the better teams as well as one of the better like anti-rain teams. I mean, there's not like I'm prepping for Waka right now, and stopping rain, these rain guys in rain is like not fun. But when you have a Mega Venu and a Swampert and a Scizor, it definitely, and things that like can even outspeed them in rain. I don't know if Dio Speed can actually do that, but I'd assume it might be able to because it can be really fast if you want it to be. But this is a team that I think is built to help, like with a lot of the stuff. Anyways, he's going to lead Dio Speed, common lead from Waka. I'm assuming Waka's got to switch out. You got to fear a T-Bolt here. He's just going to set hazards though, doesn't need to rush anything. He's going to knock into the Colbur Berry. And Tachyon Cutter does a lot to Dio Speed. And he's just going to get more spikes off. And I'm surprised that Psychic killed, I'm not going to lie, because Iron Crown feels kind of weak to me. But, I mean, it was doing a lot with the Tachyon, so that's fair. But Dio Speed goes down for the price of 2 spikes. And then this is going to come in, and Crunch is just going to kill. No need to preserve it. I don't really think Waka need to preserve it either. It doesn't do a ton this game. I mean, it's kind of nice for Scizor, and maybe... No, that's it. Maybe, I mean, Psychic probably does an okay amount to Mega Venu, but Mega Venu is hard to deal with. So he's going to bring in Kabu here in the rain. It's going to threaten him out via Rock move, I would assume. Waka makes a good play here. He's just going to spin, get rid of those hazards. Basically, Dio Speed has been pacified completely. He's going to bring back out the Pelly, eat this flip turn. I like this from Wacka. Now this thing's going to come in. I'm not entirely sure why. I guess he doesn't have a lot that really threatens Pelly. That's kind of interesting. I didn't think about that. But D-Gleam actually does a good amount. Wacka's going to U-turn. I don't love him taking all that damage, but he kind of has to. But it really means Pelly's lifespan has been shortened quite significantly. He's going to bring out the Overquill. I refuse to call any of these things Auroras this week. And then that liquidation, I mean, you could go into Venu, but before it's Mega'd, I don't know. And then, like, I bet liquidation into Crunch maybe even kills Venu. But he's just going to sack the Scissor here, which is fine. I mean, it's nice for Alola Tails, and it probably, I don't know, tanks a little from some other guys. But he's going to get in Venu and get his Mega off finally. Yep. He's going to throw out a Leech Seed, and when this thing starts running Leech Seed, it's like, man, it's hard to deal with in my experience. Whack is going to get in his Aurora, I did it, man, I did it. He's going to get in Zapdos. He's going to eat up this Giga Drain, and this is, you can go watch Wacka's video as well. He definitely recognized this immediately after, but I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but I have to point it out. McGriddle has no Hurricane switch-ins at this point. Like Zapdos nearly wins. I mean, it just clicks Hurricane and it 2-hit KOs anything. It's in Rain, so it's going to hit for the next... I don't remember if we know if this is Rain Rock or not, but at least 4 turns of spamming Hurricane is... Obviously, you only do it for 2 until Weavile on Roids comes out, and 2-hit just probably kills you with Icicle Crash, to be honest. But instead, Wacka opts to U-turn, which is crazy. Probably just because I joined and I threw him off. Sorry, Wacka. And he's going to bring out in... He's going to set up Hail. And I don't really see the vision here. He's going to get seated. And he's going to go back into Pelly and get his Rain finally back. But at this point, now Pelly's dead. And now you've got limited Rain opportunity. But at this point, you could still go into Zapdos. And you lost your Pelly. You lost some HP on a couple of your guys. But you could still go into Zapdos and click Hurricane here. And you're still going to go crazy. But instead he goes into Overquill on this Mon, which, I mean, you might not expect Earth Power on this moveset with Leech Seed. You might expect, I don't know, I wouldn't run Synthesis versus Rain and Hail, but Sleep Powder, I guess, is also viable. But I think Earth Power is somewhat likely too, because otherwise this walls you. So I don't think Earth Power is hard to consider, and Whack is going to Sword Stance. He's not even going to get damage off. He's trying to sweep, and he's going to get Earth Powered. Got a little greedy with the Rain. He's finally going to bring out this Zapdos and click Hurricane like he should have 5 turns ago. But that's okay. And like you see, even this, it can't really take it at all, and it's going to die. But now Chien-Pao comes back out, and you either have to sack this or sack something else. He chooses to sack Ninetales, which unfortunately removes his Rain condition, which is like his best condition to win still. It's going to force it out. It's actually kind of bulky in the snow versus Chien-Pao. It's like low-key an okay answer. But he's going to go into Delphox here as Wacka Baton passes into his Kabu. Kabu is going to eat the D-Gleam, and it's going to flip turn, which, oh my gosh, I'm pretty sure it's Banded if I remember right, but jeez, dude. 80? Not super effective in the Rain? That is nuts. That's a lot of damage. He's going to force him out. He's going to go into this, which just eats Freeze Drive, dude. It just eats. I'm assuming Sludge Bomb here comes out. It does. It's going to knock out Kabu. You still got a chance to bring in Zapdos and maybe claim something else if you hit your Hurricanes, which he hits the first. Chien-Pao is going to come back out. And then you got to go back to this. Back to Ninetales. Dude, I'm kind of paranoid. I said Aurora's talking about Ninetales. Oh, I don't even know if I did or not. Regardless, he's just going to Moonblast. But, and he's going to get this thing back in. They kind of have to force each other back in. But ultimately, this is... McGriddle is gaining territory. in, you know, this little war here. And a crit there. I do remember this is Covert Cloak. I remember thinking in the fight that, like, you should have just Hurricaned. But when he told me he was Covert Cloak later, I was like, oh yeah, no, it makes sense to get your health back. But the crit there sucks. I don't think it ultimately matters. I think Chi and Pao cleans regardless. But I think that was a fine play by Waka. And then Crash is going to come in and do that, and you can't quite 1v1 because Moonblast isn't going to kill because this thing's really weak. And even as frail as Chi and Pao is, I guess it's probably not that frail, but Ninetales always surprises me with how low its special attack is. And takes him out, and a very close one, 18% makes the difference here, and I think Waka totally could have come out with this one, but I'm also happy to see McGriddle pick up his first win. But yeah, I think that was a pretty fun game. I think this is probably my game of the week contender. Although we had a lot of fun games this week, this one was by far the closest, if I remember right. Next one, we've got me versus Yurtbert. I think, yeah, this was a very short game, by far the shortest game of the week, if I remember right. I've got Knacklestack, Terra, Clodsire, Torn T, Slitherwing, Roaring Moon, and Blacephalon versus Yurtbert's Darkrai, Megalop, Terra Floatzel, Iron Leaves, Dirge, and Manaphy. I lead Claude. My game plan here was to get Toxic Spikes up, no Poison type. Feels pretty free to me. And then he is going to, at this point, I'm like, I just don't want Claude to die turn 1, and I just want to get at least some hazards up, at least one hazard. Get some Rocky Helmet chip, and I get a T-Spike up. He's going to lead out the Darkrai and try and threaten me out, but I get my second T-Spike up, and he's going to start to set up. I don't love the play by him to set up. First of all, you don't know if this is unaware. It's not, but that could make a difference if this is like Super Spadef and you don't, like, you're running Dark Move. I don't know if it could eat, but it could, maybe, hypothetically. On top of like a Slitherwing on my team, which like I think pretty obviously runs First Impression when your team has so many fast threats like Darkrai, Lopunny, and Booster Speed Leaves. Like, First Impression is such a gimme, but I guess if you think you needed it to kill, I don't know. I think just going for the 2-hit KO would have been better because, or maybe even the 1-hit KO, especially when you have Ice Beam, you probably could have just killed me at 52. I was Fizz Def, so he probably definitely would have killed, but I got Rocks up for free and he has no removal, and now he's got 3 hazards set up, and pretty rough start for him. Claude does die though, so he does get that leg up. But I'm going to bring in my Slitherwing. I am Booster Attack, and he's just going to sack it to First Impression, which I think is fine. I don't think Darkrai went too crazy. Like, obviously, it's somewhat good for Blasef, and can maybe break Knackle, but I'm not sure about that. He's going to send out the Megalop. I was pretty confident with the I think I had, like, max HP, so I was pretty confident I was eating any normal move here. He does, and I wanted to scout for the fake out first. I was still confident I was living any normal type move. If he had Acro, I don't know if that kills with item, obviously, but maybe. But he goes for the headbutt. I was scared out of my mind I was going to get flinched. I don't. I returned my own boosted Acro and knock him out. And then he's going to bring out his Floatzel. I'm going to switch into my Torn. Torn was going to live a banded Wave Crash. I was like very confident in it. Forgot this was his Terra Cap. And then it just Okos me, which was a little silly. So Torn has had a really rough start to this season for me, but it is what it is. I'm going to bring out my Roaring Moon, which is Booster Speed, which is faster than this. And I'm just going to knock it out. And then whatever he brings in next, which is Iron Leaves, which, with him being Quark Drive Speed, I mean, I think it's safe to assume I'm going to be faster if I'm him. So I don't know why he brought it in. I guess knowing he probably eats a knockoff because his item is gone. But unfortunately for him, I had bug coverage, which is actually mainly for the Darkrai. I probably would have run Acro, which probably kills anyways. He brings out this, which actually lives a hit. I go for the DD, expecting not to die to an alluring voice. He's going to go for the Tail Glow, which I respect, but I think maybe he should have just gone for damage. I don't think it matters too much, though. I'm going to knock off. It's not going to kill. And then he's going to Ice Beam me, and it is going to kill. And from here, I'm like, I mean, I could go Knackle or whatever to stall this one out, but I'm pretty sure Blissef just cleans. I go into Blissef, and I Flame Charge. I get the boost in my boost and my speed boost. Then he's going to bring out Dirge. He's going to take these hazards, which kind of blew my mind in the moment. I was like, dang, this thing's not boots. That's kind of crazy with no removal to bring no boots Dirge. But actually, it was Scarf Dirge that was supposed to be able to revenge non-speed boosting Blissef, which, if you don't know, Blissef really can't speed boost. It can only really special attack boost unless you're running, like, negative special attack, which is doable, but... yeah, because I flame charged his Manaphy, he actually wasn't faster with his Scarf anymore, and he's just going to die to Shadow Ball. Really cool tech by him, and I think it would have been cool if it got a pop off, and I wish it did against someone who's not me. But I'm going to pick up my second win, and Grouper falls to 0-2. Next, this might be my personal favorite game of the week. We've got Samkey versus Phoenix. Sam brings Iron Val, Mega Banette, King Gambit, Tentacruel, Cinderace, and Terra Lapras versus Phoenix's Greninja, Lucario, Screamtail, Cleavor, Mega Pidgeot, and Gouging Fire. So he's going to lead Mega Banette, and this is already where I knew it was we were off to a rough start. Obviously, Greninja's a Dark type, so it's immune to Frankster move, so this is like the freest Dark Pulse ever. Or if you want to make a prediction, U-turn or something like that. Nope, Sam goes for the T-Wave, which blew my mind in the moment. I won't lie to you. I feel like if you have a Prankstermon on your team, like if you're playing Ranbats and you forget it, sure, that's fine. If you're running Prankster in draft, like, come on, Sam. And then, yeah. So I think that's fine for Phoenix not to Dark Pulse. I think there's good Gren switch-ins on this team, specifically like Val, Tentacruel, and King Gambit. I guess they're not great like Gren switch-ins, but they're good Dark move switch-ins. And then he's going to bring out his Lucario. Second turn, I was already bad at Sam, and then I was like, okay, Sam, he's just going to go, because Banette obviously like is either clicking Ghost move or it's clicking Status move, right, with Prankster. It's probably clicking Status move. So Sam, you got to make a prediction that he's going back into Gren, which he does. And Sam clicks Wisp. Oh, come on, man. Come on. He's going to click D-Bond, which honestly, I wasn't even confident worked with the Prankster on the Dark type. Phoenix is just going to flip turn again. Like, he was expecting him to switch. Like, I think it's extremely reasonable for him to think Sam's switching. I think it's fine. If D-Bond worked, I don't mind that play by Sam at all. But Sam, you got to predict him going back into Gren here again. Come on, brother. He's just going to go every time. And at this point, he's not going to kill you on the D-Bond. Now that he knows you have D-Bond, do you think he's going to sack his Gren? No, man. So Sam's finally going to switch here on turn 6 when he was just losing HP for no reason. He has not made any progress in this game. He hasn't done 0.1% damage. Lapras in the back here. It's going to take a solid amount to Dark Pulse. And then good play by him. I really like the low kick on Greninja, though. I think that's really cool. Obviously, that's King Gambit tech, but it also hits Lapras. I'm sure Lapras is somewhat heavy. So really cool tech there by Phoenix to have a mixed Greninja. But cool that Sam's going to Terra and he's going to eat it up. Because I don't think if you're Phoenix, you're probably going, he's probably not going to Terra ground versus me. So I don't even know why Sam Terra, but he made the right play, so I like it. He's going to Freeze Drain, he's going to get the kill. Now Screamtail's going to come out. This is where things get wild. He's going to set up a light screen for himself, and then he's going to click Calm Mind. And Sam's going to Sludge Wave him, man. And then, oh my gosh, Weakness Policy Screamtail is crazy. Screamtail, mind you, has like base 65 in both attack and special attack. Like, it is an awful attacker. But he's behind screens, he's got buffed up Spadef, and now he's got the weakness policy boost. Uh-oh, this thing's kind of scary. And now, bang, one hit KOs. I mean, you see me in the chat. I don't know if you guys can actually see, but me in the chat, I'm losing my mind over this. I think this is definitely the coolest thing I've seen in draft the past like 2 months, for sure. This thing's super sick. It actually doesn't go that hard. First of all, Sam can. Okay. Oh. Okay, I'm hyperventilating a little bit. We gotta go back. So he pops the Tentacruel, which is cool. Sam's gonna go into Mega Banette. There's a couple things here. First off, the Greninja is dead. You can click a status move, no hesitation. Second of all, you should be clicking a status move, even if the Gren is alive, because even if he goes into it, like, that's not great for you, but that gets this thing off the field with a popped weakness policy. Third of all, like, or you could Destiny Bond, because you know you're probably going to die, and you can take this thing down with you. You can T-Wave and neuter this thing, and then you can take it out another way. I think Destiny Bond's fine. But Sam chooses to use his fourth move, which is Poltergeist. It doesn't matter. He's slower. I don't know why he clicked Poltergeist. I don't know what that's gaining him. It doesn't do anything to anything else. And first of all, it might do a lot of damage to Screamtail, but Screamtail's faster and it's going to kill you. So I don't know why you clicked Poltergeist for that reason. Like, even if Poltergeist, we're going to get to it, even if Poltergeist could hit, it is, you're not going first. So I don't know why we clicked it unless you thought he was setting up when he probably thinks he's getting statused. Second of all, this thing's item has been consumed. Weakness Policy was consumed. Poltergeist doesn't hit, man. So you have 3 moves. This was by far the worst one to click. You gain a lot from all of them, and you gain nothing from this one. So I was at a loss. But you do reveal the 4th move, and you realize, oh, this thing can't sweep because you got a King Gambit, which resists both its attacks. Only doing 20%, like at 2.5 times special attack is crazy. But that just goes to show how weak this thing is, and Gambit eats that up and returns an Iron Head, which just pops him through the light screen. So, we're back to a neutral playing field, basically. Phoenix is healthier here, and Lucario's looking pretty solid. He's going to bulk up, which Sam has run bulk up Lucario before. Choppleberry's going to eat the Brick Break, and now King Gambit, like, I thought this was funny. Sam asked him if he had Justified. If he had Justified, he might have just won. But Sam wanted to get his chip off, and Phoenix is an honest man, and he said he's inner focus, which I respect, and he didn't lie. And I hope he gets rewarded in the long term because of that. He's going to get back to full, and he's +1. Iron Val is going to come in and knock him out with Aura Sphere, which is cool. No E-Speed, which is kind of what I would have expected there. I think, like, on a bulk up set, I'm assuming you're not running speed, so I think E-Speed makes a lot of sense, but I guess maybe not versus a Mega Banette and a King Gambit. I don't know what your other 2 moves are there, but I think you probably would have done at least 50% to Iron Val. Mega Pidgeot's going to come in and scare him out. And he's going to just take it with his Cinderace, which is going to Sucker Punch through the confusion. Classic Sam luck. He's going to get through that one. He's going to do a lot, and then he's going to die to that Hurricane. He's going to bring in Lapras, which probably eats up a hit. Goes into Cleavor, which is going to take a Metric Poop Ton to Freeze Dry, and Sam gets the freeze. Because Sam luck. Phoenix definitely would have 3-0'd if he didn't get frozen here. But that's just Sam operates, and of course he gets fully frozen, and he's going to get to it KO'd. Gouge is going to come in, and it's going to click DD. And as long as there isn't another freeze, this one's basically over. Yep, he's going to live on 20. And he's going to click EQ, and he's going to click Heat Crash. So I'm happy to see Phoenix win, especially happy to see him win with some cool tech. Like, there's like 3 Mons I really like the sets of here. And, I mean, who knows what he had on the rest of these guys. But, well, this is a pretty standard Couching Fire set. But really happy to see people win with Heat. Very, very happy. Need to promote more of that. We need more Heat, guys. We need more Heat. Keep it up. Keep it up. And we are finally on to our last game, which is Chalk versus Wisdom. This is a fun one. Yeah, so Wisdom's got Lando I, Rotom Motom, Terra Stakataka, Zora Hisui, Gudra Hisui, and Bundleshevsky versus Chalk has got Pangoro, Lele, Speed Boost Blaziken, Mega Pinsir, Terra Lunatone, and Rotom Wash. We love to see the one-pointers getting out here, getting some airspace. Can't hate ever. He's going to lead Bundle versus Pangoro. Pretty rough matchup for Bundle. I would definitely hard switch here, expecting a Sucker Punch, or hard switch also if I'm scared of a Drain Punch, because you're not killing Pangoro. He's going to Hyper Voice. Oh, it's Zoroark. Great play there by Chalk, though, to click Knockoff. I'm not sure why you don't U-turn, though, even with Zoroark Hisui, because you're not killing this. I don't know what the set is or what the investment is, or maybe if Zero died, but I think Sucker Punch is also a semi-likely play, which would definitely also kill. So I would have hard switched if I was Wisdom here, but I don't think it's like the worst thing ever to assume maybe he's going to switch fearing like Hydro Pump killing. I don't know, but Bundle definitely doesn't threaten this super effectively. So Zoroark's going to go down early, which I think is a bit unfortunate. Now he's going to actually send in Bundle. I would still be scared of Sucker Punch if I'm Wisdom. And he's just going to Flip Turn, which is going to leave this alive, which means he has to eat another hit from this thing, which has got good attack. He's going to go into Modem, but he doesn't actually have to. He's going to Parting Shot and keep Pangoro alive, which I actually like from Chalk quite a bit. I always like keeping stuff alive on like 5%. It can be super helpful to sack stuff later and can get you out of sticky situations, especially in games where you're facing threats like Bundle and Landorus. He's going to bring in the Blaziken, which with this thing at -1, the only thing you've got to fear is a T-Wave. He's going to CC, get the crit. I don't think it matters a ton. It was definitely 2-hit KOing, but would be nice to keep some HP on this. The Rocky Helmet is great stuff, though, for Blaziken. Definitely the best way to kill Blaziken, because it does just have to run a lot of recoil moves, and the more chip it loses, all of a sudden this thing's at 50%, and all it took was a 1-volt switch. He's going to go into Bundle, which I think is not good. I don't know why we're going into Bundle. Obviously this thing's Speed Boost, and he's going to pop his Speed Boost. Like, I guess you don't really have a better switch in, but maybe you should have just clicked a stronger move with Modem. Or I think this is Terra Water Stakataka. Like, that's probably what I bring in here, because this thing isn't going to be faster. It might be. I don't know. I doubt. I'm sure Chalk made this faster at 1.5 than Bundle. Regardless, Protect is a very common move on Blaziken, and he's going to get that off, and like, you're not getting a Flip Turn off. So I really don't like staying in or bringing this in the first place. Because now you got to switch it out. So, like, why'd we bring it in? Now Modem's just dying. So, that kind of sucks. Now, like, I think Stack is the only thing that's living a hit at this point with Terra. It's going to force Chalk out. He's going to assume the Terra. It's Terra Fairy, which also probably lives. So, I mean, Chalk, it's a pretty safe to make that prediction, because Wisdom loses if he doesn't do what he just did. He's going to bring in Rotom, which is going to trick him a Choice Scarf. Yep. He's going to Toxic him, which is nice for Wisdom. Especially when this thing kind of eats and is good versus Lando. Lando can't really come in with this thing alive. Gudra's going to come in, which also walls this pretty well. Yeah, look at that. Especially because you can't trick him a Scarf anymore. Heavy Slam. This is what I mean about keeping the 6%ers alive and get that knockout. And then this is where things get dicey. The Lunatone comes in and it Terra Poisons. Oh man, he clicks Cosmic Power. I hate being on the other side of Cosmic Power. It is a terrifying move to run up against, especially when you got a defensive Mon out there. Gudra's doing nothing to this. Yeah, 33%, and now you're dropping your special attack. At this moment, you're cooked. You had the hard switch like turn 1. After you see a Cosmic or I don't know why you're keeping this in. Even if he's not Cosmic Power, like, you want to keep this healthy for Lele. You want to keep this healthy for Rotom Wash. And getting a Draco off, like even before that, it's probably only doing like maybe 50. But now you really got to switch. Is going to get in Lando. I don't know if Lando's who I send in here versus Levitate. I guess maybe if you have Psychic. He's going to click Gravity, which, yeah. You just don't like have the real estate. Like, in the position you're so behind in, you don't have the real estate to click Gravity. Especially as this thing just keeps setting up. Like, at this point, it's extremely over. Oh, God, it's because he was Earthquake. I forgot about that. But, yeah, Stored Power is just going to win here. Like, he almost gets him there, and it would have been nice if he got a crit. And Chalk played a little loose. I probably would have Moonlighted earlier. I don't know. But he's going to get back to full, and this Gravity is going to end this next turn. I also didn't like the knockoff at this point. At this point, the leftovers don't matter. Bring me back a couple turns. At this point, with he's got recovery and all this defense, the leftovers is not the thing that's winning or losing you the game. You just got to get up Earthquake, especially since you've only got 2 turns. You got to keep his HP somewhat low. So I really didn't like the knockoff. It allows him to get in another Cosmic Power, which he didn't really need. And then clicking Gravity again, like there's no point to do that. At this point, like clicking Gravity does nothing for you. You should have clicked knockoff or whatever the hell your 4th move is. There's no world where he's letting you live to attack him again. You can bring him, I guess, okay, hold on. If the tech for the Gravity was to hit your Hydro Pumps because it boosts accuracy, I've got some respect and I take back my words. So, I apologize. Doesn't matter though. You lose to Lunatone at this point when it's got this buff defense and it's got healing. Really cool. This is definitely winning a lot of awards this week that we'll see in a minute or two. Really cool stuff by Chalk here. Cosmic Power is such a threat, and it's really cool to see a 1-point Mon pop off. I think, I don't know if this is going to pop off again this season, because I think people might be a little bit on alert when Lunatone is coming in, that it might be clicking Cosmic Power, so maybe expect to get taunted going forward, but it's going to clean up here. I don't know why he was calm minding so goddamn much. Like, you're just risking a crit at this point, but he made this a lot longer than he needed to, and look how low he got. Like, he ain't need to do all that, but good win by Chalk, and he goes up 2-0, which very happy to see. I like my guy Chalk. I like seeing him win. Sucks to see Wisdom lose though, but he'll be back in no time. Moving on to our quick little weekly recap. Let's look at the standings real quick. Our last Chalk jumps up to first in the league, first in standings. Happy to see that. Good for my guy Chalk. I fall to second, even with the win, but it's still close, and Steven's right behind us. He gets a 3-0 win for his forfeit win. We do have a hole in the schedule with James and Ryan not having played their game yet, so Ryan still has the potential to remain undefeated. I do like the parity we've got going on right now. We've got 4 undefeated teams, we've got 4 defeated teams, and we got a whole bunch of split teams right down here in the middle. So kind of like that. I really don't want to see anyone go 0-8, and I really don't want to see anyone go 8-0. Except myself, I wouldn't mind that too much personally. But yeah, so hopefully some of these guys can pick up their first wins, and hopefully other people besides me pick up their first losses. But like what we got cooking so far, and Ryan still has potential to go 2-0. We'll see. But yeah. Looking at the kill leaderboard, we still got Claude on top. Let's go. Overquill jumps up and ties though, so Claude is only on top alphabetically. Shout out to Claude. All of Claude's kills are passive too. But Corviknight could still technically jump as the week 2 leader if it comes and it gets like a kill. I don't know if this prioritizes the diff like on top of the kills. I would hope it does. Is L or O come first in the alphabet? I'm not going to count on camera. I'm not going to sing the ABCs, unfortunately, for you. But it might be. No, I think L comes first. Oh, man, now I'm in the blender. Now I look stupid no matter what. Lunatone jumps up to number 4 in one game. He got a 1-point Mon in the top 4. Love to see it. Love to see the heaters. Very cool stuff. I mean, even seeing Screamtail down here at 22 is stuff you wouldn't really expect, but we got some weakness policy heat. Zapdos in its first appearance jumps into the top 10. Chiyu stays Force. Mega Venu's up here. My Blacephalon makes a debut at number 12, but that's a little bit of the alphabetical scenario as well. Yeah. Okay, I do think it prioritizes because of this situation right here. Because Walking Wake is definitely below Venu in alphabetical order, but it does prioritize diff. So if Ryan's Corv just gets 1 kill, it'll take the kill leader. Looking at the pick'ems this week, there was only 5 games played, but also no one really had time to vote on John versus Power Fable, and everyone that did voted for Power Fable, and he lost. And like everyone who voted entirely voted for Power Fable except for Sam, who voted like way after, so I didn't count his. He's the only one who voted for John. So shout out to John for overcoming the odds, but also not shout out to John for only getting 1 pick'ems right. Holy damn, man! What are we cooking? I'm playing with you, but the scores are a little bit lower this week, but you know, with 1 less game played and 1 that you couldn't even vote for, 5 is essentially the perfect score. So I basically stay perfect on mine somehow. I didn't even realize that till just now. That's kind of cool. I'll count Ryan's as perfect as well. Shout out to Ryan. And then 4 is a very honorable score from Sam and Phoenix, Steven, and Wacka this week. And then we got some 3s, and yeah, Phoenix actually got in. He got to play this week, so hope he can make a comeback. I mean, he's only 1 point behind John now at this point, so we'll see. And I did count people who voted for Steven as a winner. I don't know if I should, but I did. He did forfeit win, so maybe consider that when making your pick'ems. That people might take a forfeit loss. Regardless, hope to see more games played and we can get more score for pick'ems. Yeah, we can look at the votes. So actually voting for me didn't matter because every single person voted me here. Thank you. I proved you right. Surprising amount of people picked Basha and then they got bit. Sorry. Samkey versus Phoenix was very split. Phoenix got more votes and he won, so he proved him right. Ryan versus James. This game hasn't happened yet, but the bets are against James. But I mean, 3 is still a respectable amount of votes for you. And then Chalk picked up most of the votes versus Wisdom. Wisdom got 2 of the 9. And then, yeah, like everyone picked Power Fable, and he lost. So, good stuff, John. Good stuff. And then McGriddle versus Wacka. Like this tells me I picked a good game of the week when the answers get split like this. So, and McGriddle was still the underdog, and he still pulled it off, which I think is about expected when you come in 0-1 versus 1-0. And yeah, it picks up the win. Like to see it. Lastly, we've got our Week 2 awards coming up. This week's a little bit unique. I want to preface saying, going forward, I'd like to the best of my ability, with my best effort, split out the awards as much as I can and not double up on anything. I think I want everyone to experience winning some awards throughout the season. Obviously, you got to earn them. You got to play good. You got to bring cool stuff. You got to do cool stuff, and you got to be successful with it in order to get here. But I don't want to double up unless I have to, and there was one Mon that really took the spotlight away this week and popped off, and it just so happened to fill a lot of criteria. So what can you do? Not to mention there was only 5 games played, so there was less candidates than usual in the first place. But starting us off with the low tier of the week, obviously it's got to be Lunatone, right? I don't got a lot to say, but a 1 point Mon coming in the first place is really cool. Second off, using its Terra is really fun. Third of all, it popped off. It got 4 kills. That's really awesome. It got in the top 5 of the kill leaders, like off rip, and it's really cool. So I'm happy to see it here, and shout out to Chalk for bringing it and popping off with it. It's going to pick up low tier as well as Terra of the week, because like there weren't that many cool Terras this week in the first place. None that actually like did anything substantial, and obviously Lunatone did, so had to double up here. We won't double up here though. Heat of the week has to go to Screamtail. Phoenix's Screamtail was so cool. I lost my mind in the moment. I knew from the moment I saw it that he was winning Heat of the week. Weakness policy Screamtail is not something I expect to ever see again in the rest of my entire life. So for that, it's really cool. Not to mention, it worked. Like, it picked up 2 kills. Probably shouldn't have if Sam didn't do whatever he did with Bennett. We're not going to go back there, man. But cool stuff, and I'm glad, and it provided value to a winning team. I always factor in winning when giving out these awards as well. Chalk's Lunatone won, and Screamtail with Phoenix also won, so I gotta give it to him, right? And then, I've got to give it to Lunatone, Pokemon of the Week. It got the most kills out of anything this week, and it did it well, and it won a game. Like, what else can I say? Nothing else deserved it like Lunatone did. So, Lunatone was the best Pokemon, and it also was the best Terra, and it also was the low tier. It was a 1 point Mon, and all of that factors in, and it makes me think it was the best Pokemon of the week. So, he triples up on awards, doesn't get the sweep, but triples up on awards, and shout out to Chalk for that. But hopefully, we won't have too many more cases like that throughout the season. But we might. I don't really know what's going on so far. Game of the week is Whacker vs. McGriddle, which was the primetime game, so that means I picked another good one. And they both end up 1-1 by the end of it, but I think it was the only game that went 0-1 this week, or 1-0. And it came down to like 18% was the difference. And it could have gone the different ways if a couple of different things happened, but it didn't. And I think it was a fun game. It was probably like, one of the most close games we've had in SSSDL so far. So hope to see more stuff like it. I hope to see more contenders for Game of the Week, and I hope we get some bangers. And I just realized I left it as Sam Kiefer's Wisdom up here, and honestly, I am too unbothered to change it, and just, sorry. Haha.